Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Queen Sugar, Season 1, Episode 4. And the title of this episode is The Darker Sooner. I'm going to go on record to say that this was a good episode, and there was a lot of developments that happened within this episode. So let me get started. The episode opens up with Ralph Angel. He's at the bank, and I must say, Charlie is a magnificent businesswoman, because the only thing that Ralph Angel had to do was just sign on the dotted line. She took care of the tax IDs, she took care of the subsidies, she took care of everything. Like, all he had to do was sign on the dotted line. He also gets he gets $100,000, towards getting to pretty much get all the to get the sugar cane and everything he needs, to plant the harvest. And Ralph Angel is on cloud 9, because it's like he's like, yeah, I'm about to get this down. I'm about to get this sugar feed. I'm about to do everything I need to do to get this farm going. And he runs into Remy. Now, Remy, I would have to say, is also very, very business-minded, which I think is why he connects with Charlie so much. So he pretty much lets him know about this business thing he has going on, where he hasn't paid an overdraft fee in years. And once Ralph Angel lets him know that he got everything taken care of. Charlie then took care of everything, and now I can go get this sugar feed and get things going. And he's like, oh, okay. Have you registered? Have you have you checked this? Have you checked that? And literally started naming things from top to bottom, and Ralph Angel literally kind of sinks, because it's like, okay, it's clearly obvious that Ralph Angel's over his head, that he definitely probably has the physical aspect of the farm down, because he probably did do a lot of farming with Papa Ernest growing up, but he has no knowledge of the business side of farming, which obviously Remy does, because Remy and Papa Ernest were very close. So Remy ends up calling Charlie, and Charlie even says that, yeah, I know Ralph Angel's over his head, but she does have faith that he's going to make this right, that he's going to get things taken care of. Now, talking about Charlie is at the GYN getting examined. And even though she's not due for an examination, she lets the GYN know, I want to be tested for everything. And to be honest with you, I don't blame her, because now that you know that your husband, smashed an escort, ain't no telling what kind of, sea of diseases this bitch may have. Oh, she's definitely going to make sure that she's going to get tested, because, yeah, I don't blame her. Health first. So I'm glad that she did that. But while she was there is when she was talking to Remy, and she pretty much lets him know, like, look, keep an eye on Ralph Angel, but he is in over his head, but kind of be there, somewhat shadowing him. And next we actually see that Charlie's back in LA, and she's pretty much now back to business, getting things together, because she is the business manager for Davis, even though her and Davis right now are not on good terms. And we also find out that, you remember in episode 1 when she was meeting with these basketball wives, and they were trying to pitch this reality show idea, the Basketball Wives of LA? We come to find out that now, since the scandal was broken, these basketball wives have teamed up to, I think, sue the to pretty much sue the federation. Since all their husbands were a part of the starting lineup, all of these women have rallied together and have completely left Charlie in the wind to fend for herself. Now, this is really fucked up because these thirsty bitches were trying to get her to sign off on a reality show that was going to promote them and promote their lives, at the expense of her because she has the good image. But now that all of this has happened and that Davis, being the captain, is being, questioned about raping this woman, these women decided, we're going to team up and, we're gonna pretty much sue the team, and to hell with Davis and to hell with Charlie. So it just goes to show you that these women were never her friends. They were just snakes waiting for something to bite. And that's reality right there. So she actually meets with Davis, and her main focus is to save his endorsements because he's facing suspension, and due to all the bad, press that he's getting, she's trying to save these endorsements, because he has some high-end endorsements like with, Mercedes and, some top-name corporations that are putting money into the Davis West brand. So she's trying to, save the money and save the business. But she lets Davis know off the bat, I'm only here as your business manager, nothing more, nothing less, don't expect anything else from me. And, he's like, well, yes, but Charlie, I'm really glad that you're here, supporting me. But she's like, oh, no, baby, don't get it twisted. I'm here to support the business. So next, we actually see her taking her son Micah, to school, and this even goes back to their whole little discussion they had back in Louisiana, where he was like, "Oh, I'm 15. I'm waiting to go back home, and somebody needs to be there for Dad." Tell me why the press is waiting, thirsty as hell, waiting for this boy to get out that car to go to school. So she pretty much tried to warn him that this is what you're going to be walking into. So now he has to take the whole situation that his father created, and it's now affected him, in his day-to-day life. And what also happens while he's at school, he runs into his girlfriend, Stella. And we actually saw in the last episode, him and Stella were FaceTiming each other. Well, him and Stella meet up at school, they're talking, and we notice that this teacher is giving Micah real sinister, dirty-ass looks. And to the point that it's kind of, it's really like off-putting. But we come to find out that teacher is Stella's mother. So she's immediately placed judgment on Micah off of his father's scandal. And it also goes later on, and it proves itself later on because, after school he goes to Stella's house, and the mother completely flips the script like, oh, well, I would appreciate if he would call before he comes over. And they're like, well, we've never done that before, so why is that a problem now? And she pretty much tells, Micah that he has to leave. So Micah leaves, but you can definitely tell he's heartbroken because he's really starting to see that this scandal has become even bigger than his father, because it's now affecting him, it's affecting his mother, and But then again, that's not all, because it gets worse. Later on, when he goes back to school the very next day, he gets word that there's a Tumblr account with him and Stella on it. And when he asks Stella about it, Stella doesn't want to show it to him. But it's definitely but yet this information has reached to the dean of schools. And they summon Charlie in to let them know that they're going to expel him because this Tumblr account, supposedly there's a dick pic of Micah that he sent to Stella. And boy, did Charlie go in on Mika's ass. Now, she probably wanted to snatch his ass up right then and there and fuck him up. Because she lets him know, if you did this, you need to tell me right now. And he says, no, I didn't. She's cheating on me. That's not even mine. So he eventually does get to see it probably and realizes that it's not him, but yet he's being falsely accused. But this can work one or two ways, that either Stella is cheating on him and he's being framed, or Stella's mother has concocted this whole thing to get Mika out of that school and away from her daughter, because she doesn't want her daughter's pristine, she doesn't want her pristine, image to be tarnished by Mika, by Micah and his rapist of a father, quote unquote. So that takes care of Micah, and it's really unfortunate. But next we actually see that we actually see that Charlie actually asks Davis the name of the escort that he was dealing with, and he tells her that her name was Goldie. Well, at least that's the name that he gave her. Well, Charlie pretty much, is having a meeting with her lawyer, and we actually find out that her name is actually Melina Goldman, and that she is, in fact, a prostitute, and she also has priors, and, definitely she has an internet site and everything. So, yeah, she's pretty much, a well-paid hoe. And Charlie, is pretty much saying, well, let's see what we can do to make this go away, that it doesn't get no bigger than what it has already. So the attorney lets her know that he hired a private investigator, got all this information about her, and that, he got in touch with her attorney and pretty much offered her $500,000. So Charlie at first is thinking, okay, good, we're in the clear, but he's like, oh, no. There's more to this. She rejected it. So that is interesting, because that didn't mean that Davis actually did rape her, or due to the fact that she knows that they're probably trying to give her this money to shut her the hell up, that she's going to hold out to try to take everything from them. So we're definitely going to stay focused on this development, because a lot is going to, there's pretty much a lot to cover with that. Also, we actually see that Ralph, who is, who's pretty much the man who's pretty much the cop that Nova is dealing with, the married man, he lets her know that she needs to get to the hospital immediately. And we come to find out that the young man that she was talking to in prison was actually badly beaten in jail. And then she's also, right before that, was talking about another boy a young man who was actually being, who pretty much was, being charged, with something that he didn't do, and that they're pretty much stacking charges onto him. So we really see that this is a case of inmate training or inmate trading, where they're pretty much, trumping charges on these young boys and making them slaves to the prison industry. So this is something that she is going to write an article on. And we actually see that she actually meets with her editor, and he finally consents to say that, look, this is a story that needs to be told, because this is insane that a lot of these young boys' lives are being ruined due to this prison industrial complex. So we actually see that she's making headways with that. That she's written an article in regards to it, and they're finally gonna, move on with it. Also, we actually see that Hollywood is just feeling good, making breakfast and stuff, and you can definitely tell that him and Dawn-Lyen had a really groovy night. So he's making breakfast, he's feeling good, and he's letting her know that he's about to go back to work, and Dawn-Lyen is still grieving, and she's still going through the motions, and she doesn't want him to go back to work. But he lets her know that, look, I took off for the funeral, I got to get back to work, I can't take off. And she's like, well, you can go work with Ralph Angel on the farm. He's like, no, that farm ain't making no money. It ain't produced no crops in over 2 years. Ain't no money there right now. I need a check. I need to get paid. I need my ends. I can't wait around. I got to get back to work. But later on, we actually see that she's in a better place, and he's pretty much now, she's pretty much now okay with him going back to work. But I thought that was cute because, I really like the two of them. I mean, I think they're a really cute couple, and I love seeing them. I just think they're really cute. Okay, and next thing we know, we actually see Ralph Angel. He's real geeked up because he thinks he's going to get this sugar feed, and, he pretty much is trying to get enough for 300 acres of the land, because there's a total of 800. But at least start off with 300, turn a profit, and then you can invest more into the land, which is smart. So pretty much he has this guy, this guy who's working with him, and he pretty much lets him know he's gonna go get this sugar feed, and he's like, go ahead, I'll take care of everything else here. So he goes to the guy, and the guy is literally leaving, where he he pretty much goes and asks the guy, like, I need this sugar cane, I need about 300 acres worth of sugar feed. So he lets him in, but pretty much it's kind of like the deadline for getting feed. So he lets him in, but then it goes to show you how much Ralph Angel is ignorant about the business side of it, because he checks the list and he says that, oh, you're not even registered, so there's nothing I can do for you. So the guy pretty much locks the gate and he leaves. But then later on, he kind of lets him know that he knows these farmers in Florida, and they have some sugar feed that they're not using, and they want about $15,000 for it, but it's only for about 75 acres. But he's like, good, I'll take it. So he pretty much pays the money, gets the feed, and he is just gung ho. But then Remy shows up, and Remy gives him the lowdown, because he said that he's like, oh yeah, Remy, I got this sugar feed, and we about to be in business. And he's like, did you check it? And he's like, well, yeah, I checked it. It looked good to me. It looked fine. Remy starts going through it and says that, oh no, this stuff has fungus, you ain't gonna get no sugar cane off of this, man. We can't plant this crap. And Ralph Angel is pissed the fuck off which I can understand, because even me being a businessman myself, you know, sometimes you have hits or miss when it comes down to investing money. Sometimes the money you can flip, and then sometimes the money's lost. But that's the game of business. So he talks to, you know, Nova, and him and Nova have this exchange, and he goes in on her ass again. And he's like, it really bothers me that you can do things for all of these young ghetto boys, but you can't even be there for your own brother. And you're my own family right here, and I can't even get in touch with you, and I need your help. And it's like, you're not even available to me, because Charlie's in L.A. You're right here in town with me, and it's like you always got somebody else to focus on, but you won't even focus on your own brother. And it's like, what is it that when I was in prison, you only visited me like twice? You know, you saying that shit. You need to be more about your own blood and stop trying to find one of these little ghetto boys to go save. So, again, he kind of like had to bring Nova back to earth. But then later on, they do make peace. They're sitting down eating, and you know, he lets her know that he enjoyed her article, that this article was the truth, and she lets him know that, look, I thought about what you said, and you're right. I need to be more here with you and helping you with the farm and doing what I can to support you. And they pretty much, you know, break bread and make peace, which is good. Later on, we also see that Remy and Charlie is talking, and we actually find out that Ralph Angel has been avoiding Charlie's calls, and later on, Remy tells her why, because he fucked up on that sugar feed and wasted $15,000 and bought some sugar feed that was no good. So she's like, okay, that explains why this motherfucker ain't calling me. But she pretty much brings up to, you know, to Remy that she wants him to be like a farm manager and work with him. But, you know, Remy's kind of giving her the runaround, like, girl, I got other things to do. I got all these other different businesses and other different ventures I'm a part of. I ain't got time to be waiting with him and everything. But we know that Remy got a soft spot for Charlie, and definitely there's definitely some real chemistry there. So I think he's kind of going to be like somewhat of a manager, but he's going to be kind of like, you know, he's kind of going to be like Charlie's eyes and ears when it comes down to the business side of the farm. So that's my review for Queen Sugar. Please subscribe to my channel. You can just click it right there, and I will really appreciate it, because I definitely want to keep you guys, you know, posted and make sure that I'm putting out these videos regularly and that you're definitely getting the best, you know, from me. And also, you know, like this video, leave comments. And while I'm at it, I want to give shout out to a really good friend of mine, Mr. Kenneth Toots of the K-Toots Spot. He's definitely been a friend of mine for years, and he's definitely been somebody that's been very supportive of me. So I want to give him a shout out, and also go subscribe to him as well. And this guy's amazing, and you know, I've learned a lot from him, and he gives great content with his videos. So that's all I have for you guys. I appreciate you, and I will see you next week for another episode of Queen Sugar. So take care.